hey, 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 what's going on, family? Good morning to all you brilliant, beautiful, abundantly blessed beings, and welcome back to yet another present moment. This is the Ace Anderson Show, where we go live every Monday morning at 6 a.m. We're starting a little late today just due to technical difficulties and getting rest. And today is also my wedding anniversary, so had to get some things prepped for that. But we get up every morning, every Monday. We provide you with inspirational, entrepreneurial tips and tricks to help you ace your life. So I want you to congratulate yourself to making it to another beautiful dawn with me, your guided and dedicated guide on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you don't know by now, I am an actor, rapper, filmmaker, poet, the ace of all trades, the modern Renaissance man, Ace Anderson, and I'm so happy to be with you here for another week. Now, as we embrace this first light together, I want to extend a special shout out to all you early morning risers joining in live. Your dedication to starting the day with intention and positivity is what makes the A team extraordinary. So, I want you to grab your favorite morning brew. Y'all know mine happens to be alkaline water. And let's explore, illuminate, and inspire ourselves to be better with mindful conversation. Now, today, I would like to discuss a little bit about self control, right? I want to talk a little bit about self discipline, building in your personal life and your professional life. I want to share some strategies for staying disciplined and even under pressure and during times of uncertainty. So, as we embark on this week's adventure, let us remember to align our hearts and our spirits with the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Let us use these let us trust them, these divine nine, to guide us on the path to living a life that resonates deeply with our most authentic desires. So, without further ado, let's get it. So, if you know, you already know, but the ninth and final fruit of the Spirit is listed as self-control. And so I want to talk a little bit about self-discipline, about how to maintain a true routine and staying on top of things, especially in terms of your spirituality, in terms of you building everything that you're aiming to build as an entrepreneur, right? And so, I want to talk a little bit about discipline and what it means to me. At first, I kind of felt in the beginning, self-control, I felt like was already the most self-explanatory when it came to the fruit of the Spirit. And recently I've come to realize that I didn't have the right exact understanding of the situation. And so the way that I have come to understand it now more so is that, the fruit of the fruit of the Spirit, self-control is more about recognizing the difference between the body and the mind. A lot of times we tend to think that our bodies are the same as our mind, and they're very, very different. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, you can do anything. You can do anything you want to." And People believe that, but at the same time, people will feel as though they can't because, like, you hear often the phrase, like, I could never do that. I could never do that. I couldn't last, whatever. I couldn't, whatever. If anytime people say they can't do something, they are thinking with their body. They're thinking from a learned present place. And what we know through science is that the mind is actually limitless. The body is limited and the mind is limitless. But when we confuse our bodies with our mind, we become limited. And so if you're operating from your mind, if it's mind over matter, then you can do anything you want. You can truly achieve anything if you put your mind to it. And so I've been starting to like really look at this in my life and apply it in different ways, right? So my mind often gets confused with my body when I want to do, especially like with physical activities, right? Let's say I'm working out and I'm working out, I'm doing a bunch of reps and I'm trying to get to 20 and I'm starting to really slow down. Like the first 10 feel good, but I'm starting to slow down at like 15, right? In my sometimes it'll feel like my mind is telling me like stop. But it's really my body that's telling me to stop, because my body is communicating with my mind that, hey, I'm tired. If we don't stop, we're not going to make it. And your mind, you have to kind of put your mind to a certain place where your mind doesn't really care. Your mind is like, we're going to do this because I want to do it. And so you have to recognize that your body is not your mind. You are your mind. You're not to give in to the flesh, right? The Bible also talks about this, right? Sins of the flesh, the fruit, or the acts of the flesh. All of the 7 deadly sins are acts of the flesh. Wrath, when you give into your negative emotions so much that you lose self-control, you give into your rage, you give into your anger. The Bible says to be angry and sin not. So our goal is to allow our bodies to experience what it experiences, right? If our bodies are experiencing a certain emotion, like, you're not able to stop your body from having an experience that it's already having. However, when you are in a certain experience, you can allow your mind to coach your body into a different state of being than what it currently is. It's not about stopping it from being in there, even though that's your intention. You're aiming to put your mind in a better place so that you can shift your experience for your body, and your body can trust the mind and follow the mind like an animal, like a pet. So whenever you're feeling discouraged or whenever you're feeling like you can't do something, I want you to just check with yourself and say, is this my mind speaking or my body truly? Because your mind gives you limitless possibilities. That's why when you go to sleep and you start to dream, you can truly do anything. You have much more courage, you have much more faith, you rely less on what your body is concerned with and the acts of the flesh, and you allow your mind to lead. Your mind just takes you wherever it wants to take you. All of a sudden you can fly, and you can bend reality to your will. And that's actually the truth in life as well. However, in life, we're so connected with the three-dimensional plane that we lose our understanding of the multi-dimensional plane that true life actually exists, right? The quantum realm operates in a dimensional plane that we in our three-dimensional plane cannot fathom. So when we wake up, we start to feel like we're not capable of doing a lot of the things that we're able to do in our dreams. But our dreams actually is what create our reality, because it's our dreams where we can do all of these things. We have these ideas and we can work stuff out that, like, have you ever had a problem that you were dealing with and you really just like sat with yourself for a moment trying to think about how to figure out this problem? You have this problem and then you genuinely ask the universe to give you an answer to this problem that you're dealing with. And then you go to sleep. You go to sleep and you let it go. So you're no longer vibrating on the frequency of the problem because you've let it go and you're sleeping now. So you're not so worried about the problem. And so when you're sleeping, now your mind is operating on a different dimensional plane that it's able to work out things that you're not able to work out. You're able to have thoughts that you weren't able to have while you were awake. And then when you wake up in the morning, one, either the problem isn't a problem because you're thinking about it differently, and now it's an opportunity, which all problems are opportunities. So now you're thinking about it differently. And then two, you are able to, so either the problem isn't a problem anymore, or you have now worked it out in your mind where you have a very clear solution. And that's the power of your mind. Your mind is able to connect with source. Your mind is connected with your inner being, your soul. And your mind is doing a lot of things subconsciously, which means you're not consciously aware of what your mind is doing. Like your brain is helping your heart be pumped, and it's helping your stomach digest food without you having to consciously think of it. You're breathing without having to consciously think about in and out, in and out, and in and out, right? Because your mind is taking care of so many things subconsciously that we just can't do. We probably have about like 5%, I think, something like that, 5 to 10% of awareness of what our brains are actually doing on a day-to-day basis. And so your mind is very powerful. And so your mind will let you in on a lot of those things when you're dreaming, because you're able to fathom and actually conceptualize a lot more information without being overwhelmed by what is only possible in this three-dimensional plane. So it's important for us to recognize the difference between the mind and the body. That's the main thing. That your body is operating on a physical plane, and it will not allow you to do certain things, and it will allow you to do other things. And so it's really important. Oh, we got a happy anniversary. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. So we are able to do much more when we're mind focused rather than body focused and flesh focused. Like, a lot of people don't feel like they can fast, right? Fasting is a great way to gain control of your mind. We're talking about self-discipline, and having self-control. Being able to fast is what fasting and abstinence are two of the strongest ways that you can connect back to source energy, right? Because think about it. Those are the two primary functions of all life, is to procreate and to feed ourselves so that we can procreate. That is the whole point of life, right? That's our main mission, is to a mission that is consistent with all life. All life aims to gain energy by consuming things and then duplicating itself. All life. Every if you say that you're alive, if you have life, then that is your mission, right? So, all right. So, forgot what I was saying. Sometimes I'll be going off on tangents. Y'all know that. Um, so let me try to jog my memory. Um, and so what I was saying was, so we oftentimes see this is why I like sometimes I gotta just stick to the notes that I took. um, so and I'm gonna be so frustrated when I watch this back and I when I watch this back and then I'm like, oh, that's what I was saying. I should maybe I should just be writing notes or whatever. That's why it's easier to have like a guest or like a co-host because then y'all can kind of jog each other's memory. But anyhow, so I believe I was talking a little bit about the difference between the mind and the body, and fasting and abstinence, right? So those are two of the primary functions. So if we fast, which means to withhold, stop, not eat, which you still must consume water. You cannot fast without water. I want that to be very clear. But what fasting means is that you're not consuming any calories. There's no caloric intake. And it depends on what you can be fasting from a specific thing, but typically fasting means there are no calories introduced into your body. So when you're able to do that, you're truly putting your mind in control because your body is the hungry one. Your flesh is what is desiring food and is on this autonomic pattern where it's like we always eat at 8 a.m. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you starving me? And it's going to give you all these indications. It's going to send all these signals to your mind that you need to eat. You have to eat. And so, and if you give into that, then you're saying that the body is the mind. The body is actually what's in control. And it's the same thing with sex. So if you're giving into sexual desires without the mind, you're basically saying that the body is what's in control. Your body is controlling you. Your flesh is controlling you. And this is true of most religions that their acts of the flesh are typically sins. And every religion most religions that are widely practiced are religions of the mind, are about how to gain control of the self through the mind consciously. Prayer, connecting, meditating, doing certain rituals, right, that get you in sync with flow. These are all aiming to connect with source through the mind and let go of the body. A lot of plant medicines, right, help you let go of your physical plane and allow you to connect to a more spiritual plane where your mind is able to connect there. It's almost like you're dreaming while you're still conscious and aware of this plane. You're able to also go to another plane spiritually with certain plant medicines. Now, the goal is to do this without any substance, to truly be in control and have self-discipline and be able to do whatever you can, because you truly can, but you have to allow your mind to be in control. And so fasting is one of the best ways to do this, honestly. If you can fast, you allow your body to process a lot of the foods that it's already processed, that you've already eaten. You allow your body a break to truly sort out what nutrients needs to go where. Because now I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor. However, from what I understand about when you fast is that your body switches into a different mode, almost like a survival state, because it loses contact with the mind. It loses the ability to get the mind to give it its fix, because your body is trying to say, hey, I need to eat something, I need to eat something, I need to eat something, so that you get up and go to find something to eat. Now, when you decide that you're going to fast and you're not going to give in to that, then every time your body is like, hey, I need to eat something, your response is, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. And the more you say that, your body is like, all right, well, we can't just kill you, you know, because if we don't eat something, we're gonna die. But we're gonna figure it out. As the body, I'm gonna figure out how to nourish us and get us from point A to point B. And it can't do this without water. So you need water. A lot of people, not a lot of people, some people feel like, oh, fasting means I can't drink water either. No, you definitely need to drink water. This is the oil, right? Like imagine your car running without oil. Like food is the gas and water is the oil. So that's how our bodies operate. You need water always. You need water. You need water. You need water. You need water. So, you're able to still connect with source by allowing yourself to consume only water, but without the calories, you are now connecting with, you're connecting more so with your source. And you're saying that I am the mind instead of the body. I am the mind. I am the mind. I am the mind. And my mind can do anything. You know, that's something I like to repeat to myself. I am the mind. I am the mind. I am the mind. And my mind can do anything. I am the mind and my mind can do anything. I am the mind and my mind can do anything. I am not my body. I am not my flesh. I am not this physical persona. This is just something that is put on. I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and this is the avatar that I happen to choose. So this body is not really relevant to what my mind it believes is possible. My mind can do whatever. So now it's about the body to give in to the mind rather than the other way around. So when your body tells your mind that it's hungry and you say, I'm not hungry, I don't need to eat anything, I will survive, I will get through this, then your body starts to go on a different autonomic pattern where it's like, all right, we're going to just take care of itself. I'm just going to take care of myself. I'm going to just figure this out. So then what your body starts to do is find the nutrients that you already have, because you've already eaten a sandwich, right? You've already had 3 meals yesterday, and you already consumed so much, and that's why you have fat. So then it goes like, all right, well, let's start looking at some of this fat and start sorting some of this stuff out and finding what's already here to eat, rather than trying to consume more. And rather than trying to consume more, let's see what we already have and figure out how to make this work. And so that's why a lot of people end up, from my understanding, a lot of people end up losing weight very quickly when they practice, especially when they practice intermittent fasting, which means that you fast for at least a 16-hour period during the day, and you only eat during an 8-hour window. And because it gives your body time to truly sort out what else it needs to eat, or what else it needs to do with the food that you've already eaten. So now, when you do that, you're basically practicing being in control of your flesh. And it's the same thing with abstinence. When you're denying your body the 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 physical experiences that you'd like to feel, then you're allowing yourself to be satisfied with the purely vibrational experiences. Now you're aligned with your mind, and your mind is saying, is connected with source, and your mind is telling you all of these amazing things that you're capable of, and things that you can do, and things that you things that you will have, and you're able to align more with the fruit of the spirit, and which is a vibration of love. And you don't need food to have love. You don't need food to have joy. You don't need food and sex to have peace. You don't need food and sex to have patience. You don't need food and sex to have kindness. You don't need food and sex to have gentleness. You don't need food and sex to have goodness. You don't need food and sex to have, self-control. You don't need food and sex to have faithfulness. So you are now truly aligned with the fruit of the spirit when you're able to fast and abstain. So these are really great practices for getting aligned. Another way that is not so extreme with getting aligned with your mind is meditation. So Joe Dispenza says that meditation means to become familiar with. And so when we meditate, we are becoming familiar with our spiritual selves. We're becoming familiar even with our flesh. We're becoming familiar with what's what. We're able to truly sort out what's what, rather than going on this learned habitual pattern every day. And every pattern that we're lining up with, right? When we become familiar with those things, then we can step outside of the program, because every pattern is a program, and every learned habit is like a video game that you plug in, like, and you run the program, and the program just does what it does, right? And you just follow the program. But when you're in the program, that's the body, right? That's the physical plane. That's what's actually occurring, because it was set to hit a certain amount of triggers, and each event triggers another event. And so you're on this consistent path, right? And so when you are meditating, when you are becoming familiar with those programs. And so that means you're outside of the program just by acknowledging it. Even if your body is in the program and doing what it does, like your body is your body is allowing your heart to be pumped, right? It's just constantly doing that, and your body's already working without you having to think about it. So your body is already in a program. And just because you meditate, you can become aware of your breath, and you become aware of your heart beating. However, you aren't stopping it. But our hearts pump every day, and we breathe every single day. And so when we breathe, just focusing on it can put you in a meditative state, just because you're becoming aware of it. You're stepping outside of it, right? To become aware of something means you are outside of that thing. And so now you're becoming familiar with what it is, right? Our hearts beat all the time, but are we familiar with our hearts unless we meditate on them? No, we're not familiar with our heart unless we take a moment to actually think about our heartbeat. How is our heart beating? A lot of times you're not consciously aware of your heart beating. So meditation is a great way to get yourself into a spiritual spiritually aligned place. So so meditation is really important for self-discipline. And so the things that we talked about, so we talked about fasting, um, abstinence, and meditation are all great ways to connect with your self discipline. And a lot of people get overwhelmed by the idea of meditating because they feel as though they have to be doing something. And the point of meditation is to truly just become aware of what is already happening, right? And allow it to just be without adding additional thought onto it. So you may have thoughts because your pattern of thinking already goes to this certain place, and you're in a certain program where you think about this thing, oh, I can't meditate, or I can't do this, or I hate this person, or I hate having to do this, or I don't have time, or whatever it is. Like, you'll have these autonomic thoughts, these or automatic. I don't know if it's automatic or autonomic, but you'll have these consistent thoughts, but you're inside the program. So the point of meditation is to sit down and become aware of those things that you're having, of those thoughts that you're having. And that's it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to force yourself to stop thinking them. You just have to become aware of them. And when you're aware of them, you step outside of the pattern, and you're not the program anymore. You're the mind. You are in this limitless place. You are in this place of God, right? You're truly in God's kingdom at that point. Because when we meditate, a lot of times people are like, go to your happy place, go to your happy place. Like, that is truly heaven. That is truly nirvana, when you can connect with source energy by separating yourself from whatever the present experience is. By saying, I am aware of this experience, you're out of it. Have you ever just stopped to appreciate, like you're hanging out with a bunch of friends, and you just stop to, like, oh man, like, I just love these guys. I love hanging out with them. They're so cool. And you just, like, step outside for a little moment, right? You're not there. You're like, because we typically we're in the present moment. We're experiencing what we're experiencing. But then there's those moments where we just step outside of ourselves. That is truly meditation right there. We're stepping outside, and we're becoming aware of where we are. We're becoming aware of the situation. And you can't do that without stepping outside of yourself. And that is a form of meditation. That's a form of becoming familiar with the present situation that you're in. So it's really important for you to align with your aligned with your mind, right? That's the whole point of today, talking about aligning with your mind and allowing yourself to just be aware of where you are without judgment, without concern. Oh my God, I have to be somewhere else. No, your mind is already able to go to that vibrational place. Your thoughts are vibrations. Your thoughts are mere vibrations. They don't have a physical weight. They are limitless. They exist everywhere and nowhere. I talked a little bit about last week about how thoughts are timeless. Thoughts do not exist in a three-dimensional plane. Therefore, they do not operate on the basis of time. You operate on, your physical body operates on the basis of time. This physical reality operates through time. So it's only going to tune to certain thoughts at certain times, where that thought, your mind is in a place where it can resonate with that thought. But it's like our thoughts are more so having us than us having thoughts. Our thoughts actually sync up with us during a certain time, and you can always be aware. You can be aware of all these thoughts. That's how anyone who claims to be a psychic, if you were to truly be a psychic, then this is how you do it. You sync up with the thoughts that already are. You sync up with the thoughts that already exist and everything that exists. So when we talk about meditation, it is actually a much simpler practice than what a lot of people believe in, or what a lot of people think, because they are They believe that they must do something, or everything must be silent, or like I meditate all the time. I've meditated in a club before, a loud house music, boom, 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 boom club, because I'm able to just stop, sit back, experience the present moment, align with what I am, and align with what I want to be. And I'm able to just become familiar with everything, become familiar with God, become familiar with the voice that I hear in my head, become familiar with this spirit, become familiar with my being, become familiar with my breath, become familiar with my heartbeat, with the rhythm of my existence, become familiar with the sounds and the tastes and the all the things that my body are experiencing. I'm aware of them now, and becoming aware of them allows me to now separate from them. And when I separate from them, I'm connected with the higher self, which is my inner being. I'm connected with source energy. I'm connected with the entire universe. And I'm able to do that wherever I am. I can just stop and separate from myself and go into my mind and allow myself to be where I am, and not without any judgment. And that alone allows you to recognize the power of your mind, and then be able to, when you come back to acknowledging the body and taking control of the body, you can give your body true commands, because now you've been able to say, hey, sit, don't do this, don't move. It's like an animal. Like, I've trained my cat, right? My cat will listen to me if I have a can of food in my hand, no matter what. My cat's going to follow me everywhere, because now he's learned that if he follows me, it's more likely than not that I'm going to have food. I'm going to feed him. So he goes wherever I go most of the time. And in fact, if I called his name, he'd probably run over here and jump, because he knows that the closer he is to me, the more likely it is for him to get food. So I've trained him with food, and you train most animals, you train them with food, but this is their reward, and you give them a reward. And this is the same way you can train your body. You can allow your body to give in to the desires of the mind rather than the other way around, simply by aligning with your own spiritual nature. And oh snap, okay, I'm just putting this here. What's up, Rashawn? All right, so aligning with we can train our bodies the same way we train an animal. And so with my cat, I was able to teach him how to sit. I was able to teach him how to get up off of my lap. I was able to teach him how to wait until I put his food in the bowl before he runs over and eats it. So he waits until I pet him before he runs over and eats it. So I've been able to train my cat in this same way, and I believe you can train your body this way as well. So the way that you do it is you give it a reward for doing what you desire it to do. You reward it. It's a reward system. So you tell your body, hey, look, I'm going to feed you after 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. Just sit here. Don't worry. You're not going to die, right? You're not going to die from sitting here and breathing for a little moment. You're going to be fine. And so I need you to sit, rest for just a moment, and allow me to think. Allow me to exist without your constant annoying presence of, can we get food? Can we get food? I'm hungry. I need to do this. I need to do that. I want to go here. I want to go there, right? We're not going to operate from the body anymore. We're going to operate from the mind. So you train your body in the way that you train an animal. And so we've, I what I did with my cat, people think you can't train cats, but you can. I basically would, every day I started to feed him at the same time. And so then I got a bell. I got a, because he would just get annoying all the time. And then I got this bell that I would always feed him at the sound of the bell. Or it was more like an alarm, my HomePod alarm, actually. So I set the HomePod alarm at the same time, and then it would ring. And so anytime it would ring, I would go to the food area, grab a can of food, and then open it. And so he'd know that was going to happen every time that sound came. And it started, he didn't really think about it, but then eventually he started to get into the habit. He started to get into the program of every time this alarm rang, that dad was going to go grab some food. So he would start freaking out. He hears the alarm, ding, 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 ding. And then he would just start freaking out. Oh my God, running around. So he would run, follow me, because he knows food's coming. And then he'd like freak out for like 3 minutes around the bowl. And like, for me, I'm like, I want you to sit down. So I would open up the can and he'd run around, trying to get my attention. And I'd be like, no, I'd sit him down, sit. He'd get up, sit. I put him down, pushed him down, forced him to like get fully down. And it's more of a lay, because I like make him like sit all the way down. And so he'd lay down, and I'd go to put the can into the bowl, and then he'd get up, and I'd be like, no, sit. And then I'd go to put the can, he'd get up. I'd like, sit. I'd go to put the can, he'd get up, sit. And I would just hold him, sit. I go to put the can, eventually, until he did not move. He was like, all right, shit, I gotta move. And then I would just have him sit there. And then I finally put the food in the bowl. And look, here he is right here. I finally put the food in the bowl, and he would start getting up. I'd be like, sit. And I'd wait there for a couple seconds, and then I'd put, I'd wait there for a couple seconds, and after a couple seconds, he'd get up, and I'd sit. I just kept doing that until he did not move. So I'd not just count until it was long enough for me to feel like he had understood the situation. He understood the assignment. So then he'd sit there, and then eventually I would pet him. And when I pet him, he'd get up, because cats do that thing where when you rub their back, he'd like get up and oh my God, and then he'd run over to his food bowl and eat. So then he started to become aware that eventually I don't have to say anything. Now I just hold the can, because this has been years now. Now I just hold the can by, I stand up. I don't even have to get down anymore. And I don't have to say sit. I just stand up, and I stand next to the food bowl. I open the can, or I don't actually open the can anymore. I just wait around his food bowl until he's ready to stop freaking out. Because I hate when cats freak out over food. I'm like, bro, I'm going to feed you, man. It's going to be all good. You're going to survive. So it's the same thing with your body, right? When you're like, wait, hold on, I got to do this thing that I always do in the morning, and I have to do this other thing, and what about this, and what about that, and we're going to be late for work, and you're going to do this. Like your body's like telling you all of this stuff, because like, well, we don't want to feel this, and I don't want to feel that, and I don't want to feel this other thing, so you better do this, and you better do that. In your mind, when you're aligned, you're saying, nope, I'm not going to have that. That's not going to be a problem. Don't worry about it. I got it. If anything, push comes to shove, I'll take care of it. Okay? And we're going to be fine. Because that's really what your body wants. Your body wants to be fine. Your body does not want to feel pain. And your mind is not able to feel pain. Your mind is not able to, because it doesn't operate on a physical plane. Your mind is on a spiritual plane. Your mind, because you can go to a place mentally. This is what they teach a lot of people in the military who have to go through like torture training. Like they teach you how to put your mind in a place where you're not experiencing pain or suffering, or you're able to align and not worry, not be so concerned with your not be so concerned with the physical reality in the present moment. So your body is constantly trying not to feel pain, and your mind just does not care. Like your spirit doesn't care. Your spirit's like, everything's gonna be good. I'm good. So just align with me, and at a certain point, the pain is gonna go away anyway, right? The pain is gonna be taken care of. So we shouldn't have to worry about that right now. Right now, we're just going to be here. We're not worrying about some future pain. We're not worried about some future suffering. We're only concerned with the enjoyment of right now. And if you listen to me, I'm speaking as the mind, if you listen to me, then I promise you will have a reward. You will experience life in a way that is enjoyable and pleasurable, which is the whole goal in the first place. So the same way you train an animal is the same way you can train your body, and you can allow your body to have an experience that is my room is loud as hell. You're able to have your body have an experience that is truly pleasurable, truly nirvana, truly heaven. So I talked a little bit, man, I skipped, so it's crazy because sometimes I just riff and like I have all these notes about things. Also, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Always, I love to answer questions and whatnot. I'm just gonna run through kind of my notes roughly because I've already been here for about like 45 minutes or so, and so I'm gonna just I'm gonna bring it back for a second. So we have understanding self-discipline. I think we kind of have talked about that a lot. You know, the let's see, define self-discipline and discuss why it's a critical skill for success and well-being. So, you know, self-discipline is just important because your mind can do anything. Your mind is what creates your reality, and we are able to build. My name is Ace Anderson. I'm an actor, writer, rapper, poet, filmmaker, designer. I do a lot of things. So they call me the ace of all trades, the modern Renaissance man. And I love to help people on their entrepreneurial journeys, giving tips and tricks on how to do everything and how to make your life better. The whole goal is to ace your life. And so thanks for asking, Lil 8. Who am I? That's who I am. If you don't know, now you know. So, talking a little bit about the mind and mind over matter, mind over your body. You're not your spiritual reality. You're not your physical reality. You are your spiritual reality. You are the spiritual being, actually, and the whole goal of life is to align with your spiritual self on a physical plane so that you can actually experience, feel, taste, touch, smell the heaven that you dream of, the heaven that is God's kingdom in this from the spiritual plane. You're actually able to experience it on a physical plane. You're actually able to manifest it in the physical. So the whole goal is to be aligned with your mind, and we're giving you tips today on how exactly to do that. I appreciate you guys for checking it out. And, you know, every week we go live every Monday to talk a little bit about spirituality, about motivation, about self discipline, about giving you tips to be your best entrepreneurial selves and going on this journey of life uh, to pursue everything that we ever dreamed of. And and yeah, I think we've talked quite a bit. I love any questions and comments that you have. Feel free to ask. But I think I've given you guys a lot of stuff to chew on, and I want to give you more. But I think I might split this up into a part two for next week. So because it is my anniversary and all that, so probably want to start getting together with making all that happen. However, um, let me leave you with a few strategies that we discussed on how to align with your mind and ultimately your self discipline. So some things that you can practice is the easiest is meditation. Um, that's the easiest one to practice for most people. I'd say the second easiest, and this might be up for debate. It probably is, but the second easiest is abstinence. So first, it's meditation. Meditation just means that you're going to sit yourself down and not concern yourself with. You're not going to concern yourself the with physical reality for 30 minutes at a time, right? At least, probably no more than 30 minutes. You probably don't need much more than that, but I'd say 10 to 30 minutes. You're going to sit down and just allow yourself to be and think and not concern yourself with all of these other, worries and doubts and concerns and whatever. You're just trying to align spiritually. And two, you are going to another option is abstinence, abstaining. And the reason why I say it's the second easiest than after meditation is because most of us aren't like experiencing like sex all the time, right? Like it's not like or it's not like we're just like constantly bombarded with the opportunity for sex. Now, some of us might be, but it's a little bit easier because it's not as frequent. Like you're more likely to go a week without sex than you are to go a week without food. So that's why I would put um, I would put abstaining from food or fasting as the top thing to give up. That would be the hardest to give up. So I'd start with meditation, then I'd try abstinence, and then after that, try fasting. Or you could do the other way around. I mean, whatever. Like if you feel like you got a grip on any of them, or you really want to challenge, I'd say try fasting. Especially intermittent fasting because it's not it's not so difficult to conceive because you already fast. That's why you have breakfast. You fast for most people fast for about 8 hours a day, which just isn't really enough for you to get the true benefits of fasting. So you want to just double that and do 16 hours and allow your body to have the time to truly process the food that you've already consumed rather than just giving in to the desires of the flesh and be like, oh, and that's gluttony, right? So we talked about earlier how all the 7 deadly sins are acts of the flesh. And the fruit of the spirit, the divine 9, are fruits of the mind, and they are aligned with the mind. So those are, just to jog your memory, those are just some 3 ways that you can put into practice self-discipline and allow yourself to be aligned with the spiritual, aligned with the divine, where truly anything is possible. That's why there are, biblical verses like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And, Christ is your most aligned self. Christ is the embodiment of the most aligned being. Spirit, physical being is a Christ figure. They are aligned with the spiritual. They are so aligned with the spiritual that they are physical embodiments of God, right? So that is what it means to be Christ, if you really break it down, right? So that's what the characteristics of Christ or a Christ would be. And so your goal is to emulate that. And when you emulate that, when you're truly aligned with the divine, when you're aligned with the spiritual plane in such a way that you can perform physical miracles, you can actually make real life magic, then you've basically won, right? You basically won the purpose of life, which is to be so aligned with the mind that you're not concerned with the flesh, like your body. You're just operating on the plane of light, of thought, of true life, because your mind is now in control, and you can say, no, I don't want this, I want this, I need this, this is how things should be, and I'm aligned with what promotes more life. I am aligned with what promotes more pleasure, more success, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is a pretty hefty topic, much more hefty than I thought it would be. I try to keep these episodes to be about 30 minutes, but me, I just be talking and talking and talking. However, I think that we're gonna end it there today, folks, because I know y'all got to get to work and you got things to do and all of that. So just like that, we are wrapping up another fantastic session here on the Ace Anderson Show. Big love and thanks to each and every one of you who joined us live this morning. Your energy and insights light up this community and push us all to level up in every way possible. So don't forget, we're here every Monday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. around that time, bringing that heat to start your week off right. If today's conversation got you fired up, inspired, or just curious to learn more in any way, drop a comment, share this stream, and tell a friend, because word of mouth is the best influencer. So please like, share, subscribe, do all those things, you know what I'm saying? Like, help your boy out, because we got to all come together. Keep Ace Boogie in your prayers, and I promise to do the same. Follow me on all social media platforms. This broadcast is going out to Facebook and Twitter, and I need to start doing TikTok, or I don't even know if I'm going to be doing TikTok. Is TikTok going away? Who the hell knows? But anyhow, follow me on all the platforms. This live stream, we go live on every platform: TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. What's up, y'all? And yeah, I hope to connect with y'all. Leave a comment, tell a friend, and just be on the lookout for more content that I got coming this week. I'm always making comedy content, just trying to make y'all laugh. And so come follow your boy, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep this A-Team community growing strong. You feel me? All right. Until next time, and remember, y'all, to always, always, always align yourself with truth, trust, and patience, and I promise you, you will ace your life. Peace out, y'all.